In the heart of the wild, where survival often demands strength and instinct alone, an extraordinary act of trust unfolded. A desperate lioness dragged her dying cub to a man, seeking help in a moment that defied nature's fiercest laws. What happened next was something no one could have ever expected. The golden sun rose over the vast expanse of the Serengeti, casting the endless grasslands in shades of amber and gold. Birds chirped in the crisp morning air, and a gentle breeze whispered through the acacia trees. Among the tall grasses, a lioness named Dahlia and her playful cub, Leah, had made this quiet corner of the wilderness their home. Leah, no older than a few months, pounced and tumbled playfully around his mother's feet, his bright golden eyes brimming with curiosity and wonder. For days, Dahlia and her cub had roamed this stretch of the savannah, free and untouched by the dangers that lurked beyond the tall grasses. Lee had begun testing his limits, eager to explore the vast world unfolding around him. That morning, Leah's sharp eyes fixated on the trunk of a tall, sturdy tree, a new challenge, an adventure waiting to begin. Dahlia watched as her cub crept toward it, his tiny claws gripping the bark with determination. His first attempts were awkward and unsteady, but with each try, he climbed a little higher, his confidence steadily growing. The mother lioness observed in silence, trusting the process, allowing him to learn on his own. This was part of learning survival, but she did not see the danger looming. Above, a sudden gust of wind rattled the branches. Lee hesitated, gripping the bark tightly, but the dry branch beneath him could not bear his weight. With a loud crack, it snapped. Sending the cub tumbling down. The world seemed as slow as Dahlia's ears twitched at the sharp sound. Her heart was pounding. Lee crashed onto the hard ground, letting out a weak groan. Cry, Dahlia's roar, shattered the morning. Silence. A cry of desperation as she sprinted to his side. The little cub groaned, trying to stand, but his small body collapsed under the pain. His tiny frame quivered. His hind legs are swollen and twisted. Unnatural knees. Heart pounded like a drum. Each beat echoed the urgency of the moment. Leah's shallow breaths were a cruel reminder of time slipping away. She gazed at the horizon, an endless sea of grass, searching for any sign of help. The harsh reality of nature weighed heavily on her. A wounded cub was a beacon for predators, hyenas, their calls, a chilling promise of death. Leopards, swift and silent hunters, even the fierce lions driven by survival, would seize this opportunity. She had to protect Leah to become their fortress against the merciless wild. Please show your support by liking and commenting. 1. To give this lion cub a chance to survive every wasted moment brought him closer to tragedy. Dahlia's gaze softened as she looked at her son, his small body trembling, his eyes clouded with pain. She couldn't bear the thought of losing him, of watching his life be extinguished before it had truly begun. A mother's instinct, fierce and unwavering, burned within her. She would defy all odds, challenge the very laws of nature to save her child. She recalled the stories told by the old lions and the pride tales of strange two-legged creatures, hunters with compassion. She had never believed in those stories, but now she had no other choice. She decided to seek them out, those two-legged beings who might help Leah. It was a risky decision, but she had nothing left to lose. She took Leah by the scruff of his neck. Careful not to hurt him, she began her perilous journey. She would seek hope, search for help for her son, no matter how treacherous the path ahead. Dahlia lowered her head, gently taking Leah by the scruff of his neck. She could feel his shallow breaths against her fur, step by step. She moved forward, careful not to jostle him. Her instincts were warring with fear. The unknown was dangerous, but she had no other choice. Miles away, deep in the heart of the reserve, a group of rangers patrolled the land in their open-roof vehicle, led by Harold, an experienced ranger who had spent years studying the wildlife of the Serengeti. He had seen many things, poachers, rescues, life and death, playing out in the wild, but nothing could have prepared him for what he was about to witness as the jeep rumbled over a dirt path. Harold's keen eyes caught a figure in the distance. At first, he thought it was just another lioness on the prowl, but something was off. She was coming toward them, and she was carrying something. His grip on the steering wheel tightened. Everyone, stay alert. He warned his team that something was not right. The vehicle slowed. As Dahlia stepped into the clearing, her golden coat shimmered under the sun. She walked with careful precision. Her muscles are tense. Harold's breath hitched. When he saw the small motionless cub dangling from her jaws, was she bringing him to us? One of the rangers whispered, disbelief evident in his voice. The lioness approached her powerful frame, moving with uncharacteristic speed. Caution then, to their utter astonishment. She placed Leah gently onto the ground in front of the vehicle and took a step back. Her amber eyes locked onto Harold's, and for a brief moment, an unspoken understanding passed between them. She was asking for help. Harold slowly opened the door. His pulse was racing. The mother lion remained still, her muscles coiled like springs ready to strike if necessary. But she did not growl. She did not bare her fangs. She only watched Harold move cautiously, lowering himself to the cub's level. Leah barely stirred, his breathing shallow. His leg was swollen. Bruises were spreading along his small body. "It's hurt badly," he muttered. "But I don't think anything's broken." He turned on his team's first aid kit. Now, one of the rangers tossed in the medical bag, and Harold pulled out antiseptic wipes and bandages. Every move he made was slow and deliberate. He knew the mother lion was watching his every breath. The slightest mistake could turn her from desperate to deadly. Dahlia let out a low rumbling growl as Harold reached for a cub, but she did not move. A warning, not a threat. He nodded slightly, acknowledging her fear, then gently pressed the antiseptic against Leah's leg. The cub flinched, but did not cry out. Minutes passed like hours. The rangers worked in tense silence, dressing the wound, injecting a mild painkiller, and ensuring the cub was stabilized. Harold glanced up at the mother lion, whose gaze never wavered from her child. The moment was surreal, wild and human predator and protector working together for the sake of life. Finally, Harold sat back, the tension slowly draining from his shoulders. "He'll be okay," he murmured, more to reassure himself than anyone else. "He just needs rest." The air hung thick with anticipation. The silence was broken only by the soft rustling of the savanna grasses, as if she understood the unspoken words. Dahlia stepped forward, her massive head lowering to nuzzle her cub. Leah stirred slightly, a fragile movement, letting out a soft, weak prayer, washed over Harold like a cool wave, a tangible release of the anxiety that had gripped him. He slowly backed away, creating a respectful distance, giving mother and child the space they desperately needed. The team waited, breath held, their eyes fixed on the tender scene unfolding before them. Mia gently nudged her cub, encouraging him to stand. He wobbled unsteadily, but determined, his small body fighting against weakness. She let out a soft, encouraging rumble, a low maternal sound that resonated deep within the heart of the bush. Leah tried again, this time, standing for longer. His legs were trembling. Before leading into his mother's side for support, a collective sigh of relief rippled through the rangers, a shared moment of profound gratitude. Then the most unexpected thing happened, a moment that would forever be etched in her memories. Mia turned her gaze back to Harold. Her eyes met his for a brief, powerful moment, a gaze that conveyed a depth of emotion beyond words, beyond species. Then she let out a soft, brief roar, not a warning, but a sound filled with raw gratitude, a heartfelt expression that echoed through the quiet savanna. With regal grace, she gathered her cub and turned away, disappearing into the golden grasses, leaving behind a silence heavy with awe and emotion. The rangers sat in stunned silence, the weight of what had just unfolded slowly sinking in. In that moment of extraordinary connection, Harold finally exhaled, shaking his head in disbelief, his eyes wide with awe. "That's something I'll never forget," he whispered, his voice barely audible. The moment stood as a powerful reminder of the profound and intricate bond that can exist between humans and the wild. A testament to the unspoken language of compassion and respect, the story of Dahlia and Leah became a legend, whispered around campfires and passed on in quiet reverence. It reminded us that the wild is not just a realm of survival, a one of profound connection. Even the fiercest creatures speak a language of their own, a language of need, of gratitude, and above all, of love. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you like this story. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss update from our channel. Thank you.